What's good, fellow noobs? It's time for one of these videos again. They perform very well. The Perry Astron Stars video recently got 1,000 views, which is crazy, and I also just accomplished my first New Year's resolution, having more subscribers than videos, so thank you. You asked and I delivered. On to the video. Fighting, Block Tales, Forsaken, we've all heard of these games. They're great, but not the communities. The community is a whole separate thing. The games themselves are decent, but the community is the topic. So, modern popular Roblox games all basically just boil down to Regretavator with quirky characters. That's really it. I don't think we can add more things without getting too specific and not encapsulating all these games. But indeed, in essence, they're pure Regretavator. Not reimaginings and creative ideas, but Regretavator and nostalgia bait. Because if these people truly care a lot about old things, the modernization won't feel so Twitter Wattpad, if you know what I mean. But hey, Block Tales does it right. In fact, I think Block Tales is the best game in this video, whereas the rest are just what if old thing was new thing. This one is what if old thing had more depth instead. The other exception would be Pressure, which does its own thing and does it right. The problem is that people just sometimes don't deserve good things, so great characters become shit characters. How long do you think it would take me to find bizarre fan art of Infestation? It's a cool shark, so probably an hour, right? Wrong. One Google search, not even a second in, and the first results are all this humanification garbage. This is basically what characterizes the communities here. Any character you search up will probably yield you weird ass fan art and bad interpretations. Let's look up Banhammer, and boom, among the first results, there's a fat shirtless Banhammer. Why? If he's supposed to be badass and strong, they really just turn him into this shit for their own amusement. The interpretation you have of a character can be ways different than the one the fandom has. Hell, we don't gotta look too much for it. Griefer from Block Tales. In the game, he's an absolute maniac with no care towards his family, lots of toxicity, and tons of ego and violence. To the community, Twinkified Catboy. What the fuck? Actually, why? So, we'll get into the games that comprise this category and explain a bit about them, starting with first game, Regretavator, the Pioneer. Regretavator came out in 2020, and it's basically a reimagining of The Normal Elevator, an old game that came out in 2015. This is one of the lightest nostalgia baits in this list. It keeps the essence and removes a lot of memes that are rancid nowadays. My one complaint is that they removed the big cheese. Why? He was the best character. Just kidding. The game is pretty good. I guess my complaint is that it gets a bit grindy. Like, I'm not gonna play it right now, but from what I remember, the floors are pretty slow at giving you money to buy things in the shop. It's good. It has good mechanics and good environments, and the characters can even talk between each other. Wait. Oh no. Is that good characterization I hear? It might get ruined. And that's exactly what the fandom did. Since the characters were so good, they got a lot of fan art and weird interpretations. But really, as the first of the shit fandoms, it's terrible, but soft compared to the rest we're gonna get into. Second game, Pressure, the Catalyst. Pressure came out in 2023, which is the year where the amount of lonely freak fucks peaked. And like last time, with good characters came shit versions and Wattpad stories. This one is not Regretavator, rather it's inspired by another modern game, which is inspired by another game too, but is not old styled. And honestly, Pressure is pretty good. That is from what I've seen, of course. As of writing this script, I've only played it once, and well, it wasn't life-changing, but it was pretty great. If I play it again for footage in this part, I'll probably record a short opinion of it. Third game, Dandy's World, the kids table. This is basically a bonus spot. Dandy's World is neither retrobate or slightly mature, but it did attract tons of stupid children and object show fans, which is a synonym for Wattpadders and little kids. God fucking damn it. Actually though, object show has got such a fucking terrible fandom. Children and man-children alike losing their minds over fucking objects with the same goddamn face. Stupid shit. This spot has become object show hate, but I'll allow it. Because fuck object show. Or object shows. I'm not sure if it's called object show or object shows or... Fourth game. Fighting. The worst offender. Oh boy, I got so many things to say about fighting. I don't hate it, but damn, it can be so much better. So much fucking better. We could have gotten a really good Roblox hero shooter. What I wanted, insert healer with original name. What I got, medkit. And a lot of these points are taken from a scrapped script that was just way too harsh and edgy, so I toned it down a little. Here we go. Number 1. Twitter twinking. Twitter twinking is the art of turning characters into shitty twinks with the fucking fluffy hair art style, so all the toxic teens and annoying girls can lose their minds over them. This often, no, always ends up in the character being treated completely different, getting put into trash ships, getting put in Wattpad stories by 13-year-olds, and most importantly, the genesis of this video, getting shitty chatbots made of them. Yeah, I discovered these fandoms fucking sucked back when I discovered character AI, shit site by the way. Sometimes I just struggle to comprehend how someone takes such normal looking characters and twists them into these disgusting, wretched versions of themselves that only exist to satisfy a lonely teen with social problems. Because let's be honest, if you actually use these dating AIs to treat them as your like partner and tell him I love you and shit, you ain't normal, dog. You've got terrible social skills most likely, or nobody likes you, which is probably the case. I remember the only fun part about these guys was killing them after rejecting them. It was so funny. The other route is so fucking corny and cringe, I never brought myself to try it even as a joke. 2. Show lore. The game fucking sucks at giving lore, straight up, because the lore it gives is straight up just non-existent. How does the fighting wiki know all of these fun facts and stories about these characters? Did the game tell them? No, of course not. You have to go into Discord and ask the developers for any lore. I played fighting for like 12 hours total, and the only lore I got was that Banhammer is badass and that Valk and Dom are close. I am not kidding, this game is that fucking vague when it comes to lore. It's actually terrible. It just comes off as the developers going, hey, I made this sick game just so people came to my Discord and talked to me because I have no friends. It's so annoying. I hate games that do this. Where did show don't tell go? It's now just tell don't show, bro. Like, oh my god, I wanna know some lore about my favorite character. How would I get it? A. Play the fucking game. B. Ask the creator in Discord. The answer is B. Yay! Let's force our fans into our server to get free members and give them basic info the game should have had. I'm so smart. 3. Insanely original. Look, if you tried your best making these characters, honestly I applaud you. If you're 12, what are these DeviantArt OCs? Guys, look, I made this tool a person looking ass. Bro, the characters in this game are so corny and tropey. Sword and skateboard are just the social and confident trope. Medkit is the effective but silent trope. Hyper laser even more so. Banhammer is the big but dumb trope. And so on, because all the characters are just tropes. They should have something else, no? Something to make them stand out more and be more unique. And no, I'm not talking slap an LGBT label to make it inclusive. I mean something that affects the way they interact in game and in the story. Like, what if for example skateboard was actually very panicky, So every time he rides the skateboard, he actually gets really scared, but thrilled. Or what if Hyper Laser was actually really scared of his lasers and of death? So every moment in the battlefield is scary? That'd certainly be less generic. And not only that, what you see is what you get. Sword is his name in game, Sword is his name in lore. This is one of my biggest complaints. The characters are called Sword, Slingshot, Skateboard, etc. You'd expect them to I don't know, maybe they have a real name and that's just their battle alias. Well, guess what? Psych! Nope, they don't got real names. I just can't imagine walking into class and the teacher starts going Sword, Bomb, Slingshot, Hammer, Mouse. Like, what the fuck? Also, the people in the fighting universe live in the Inferno and are called demons. But the only demon thing they have is the horns? Being demons should make them different from humans. Maybe they get like an aura when they use their finisher. That'd be sick. But no, they're just normal humanoids with horns. So yeah, fighting, on top of being a game with half-assed lore, has a community full of 14-year-olds that go Alpha Wolf male mode when you insult their shitty characters, OCs and headcanons. No, I'm not letting you ship Banhammer with Medkit, they only need each other in gameplay. Medkit is too detached and Banhammer is too cool for that. You get me? Anyways, this part is too long. Next game. Fifth game, Block Tales, the not so bad example. Block Tales, I probably don't got much to say about it. It's a very good story RPG that is actually skill based and has good characters. In a complete contrast to fighting, instead of taking old things and simply modernizing them, Block Tales takes old things and goes in depth about their new interpretation. Instead of Ice Dagger and Venom Shank, we have Cruel King and Griefer. They're still characters that revolve fully about the swords, however, they have other things in their life besides be sword. They weren't born to wield the swords. The game also preserves the essence of old Roblox perfectly. Animals are made of the old shitty sphere meshes but still look good, and the animations, despite being high quality, are still choppy, which in my opinion preserves the essence even more. This makes Block Tales not feel like a pretentious attempt at understanding old Roblox, weird strict dad, or a terrible half-assed way to stitch things together about old Roblox in a modern world. Fighting. It is its own thing, and it's disrespectful to call it a reprobate, I'd say. However, the community is a whole different story. It's like the difference between people who played and people who heard their friend tell them what it was like. We have fan art of Griefer posing weird, Griefer being a twink, Cruel King being drawn half frozen with the fluffy hair art style. Actually, I don't get this one bit. What the fuck was the point to make him half frozen? The original design wasn't even that bad, it was just simple. And we also have fan art of Noobador looking like a fat millennial, which also doesn't make sense. He's supposed to be the protective uncle of Red and Blue. And also, Luchador, that's where his name comes from. So all his mass is supposed to be muscled. Making him fat like that just ruins him in my opinion. This is the second coming of Sans fangirls, but at least Sans was kinda funny and cool. This shit, I don't understand. Griefer would kill you on sight and hang you in his house or something? Do people even play the games they're supposedly fans of anymore? Anyways, in case you haven't gotten it yet, point is that this game is incredible, but the fandom is incredibly garbage. In between game, TRUD, or Trud I guess. The Robloxia Until Dawn is basically the game that inspired Forsaken, along with Dead by Daylight. Those were like the parents. It was just retrobate, but kinda well made. I liked it on my first play. Can't say the same about Forsaken, and even still, TRUD has such a terrible community. We got people wanting to get freaky with the monsters. Like with the survivors I get it, but the monsters? Really? You wanna get by John Doe's cockroach arm. Just ew. Sixth and final game, Forsaken, the latest trash. While I had the idea of the script in mind for a few months now, I was inspired by Bredian's video. Really cool YouTuber, please review Facekiller. Anyways, I agreed with a lot of the things he said. You see this game being treated like Jesus Christ, like the cure to cancer, but once you get to play it, it's mid. It's not that great, honestly. And it did the Fortnite effect. Now everyone thinks of Cool Kid as the guy from Forsaken. And yeah, the same thing as Strud happened. People went fucking insane over all the characters and shit. But even the official thumbnails have been drawn in the Twitter fluff art style. And that's part of a recipe. It's called the Recipe for Disaster. But yeah, people even went insane about the monsters, even making cat fan art of a 10-year-old child. I am not kidding, by the way. Cool Kid got this treatment. This is some really terrible stuff. And despite the drama and other criticisms, really I just think the game is the biggest example of people ruining good things. It's a really good game in paper, but even the decisions had a role in it being mid. The characters are grindy for starters. The thumbnails have the dudes in the horny fanfic maker art style. The characters, just like fighting, are just what if all thing knew, but executed slightly better. It's just not an amazing thing, but hey, better than Kaleidoscope, am I right? Speaking of Kaleidoscope, I didn't mention it here. Sorry, not sorry, I don't really care. Dude's bathing in money after making the biggest nothing burger. I doubt he'd care about some noob talking shit about it. But that game also had a pretty bad community. Like 3 characters and people had 6 ships. Now, to end this part, I have a theory about who the culprits of this garbagification are. Not sure if that's a word. I saw people say there was shit nomads, and I'm expanding on that concept. Meet the average freakster. Their main characteristics are: craves the fluffy hair Twitter art style, is amazing at pretending to like something, can jerk off to just about any character, never plays the games they're supposed fans of, meets LGBT everywhere, probably hypersexual, has delusional fantasies and daydreams, but their main characteristic is that they just jump from fandom to fandom, hence the name, shit nomad, or freak fly. They just go from fandom to fandom, turning it into absolute fucking garbage, and then move to the next big fandom. I believe these are the main culprits for turning every fandom into Undertale 2. I would like to prove it, but I don't think I have the means to. If any of you guys are brave enough, go around interrogating anyone that looks like an insane or obsessive fan and upload a video. I wanna see if what I say is true, or I'm also being delusional. If you get into trouble or something, I did warn you only if you're brave enough, so be prepared for anything. In conclusion, Roblox has the capacity for really good games in terms of gameplay, but their fandoms will all eventually become shit because there's a hidden plague, an army of imposters that is stellar at ruining fandoms. It can turn the greatest game into the greatest game with the shittiest fandom. Also, please don't get angry from this. I didn't really mean to offend anyone with this video. It was kinda just to voice my opinion, you know, even if it's a bit aggressive. So yeah, don't hate me. This is just how I voice my opinions. Don't be scared if you're new to the channel. What did we learn from this video? Lonely teen freak fox can be menaces. Thanks for watching, noobs.